Hello, remote learners. This is Storytime with Dr. Shivers. I'm reading a book today called The Backyard Garden. This one's really special to me because I have a big garden. I've gardened every year of my life, I think. I started when I was a kid with my family, and I get to keep going even now. So, this book was written by Elizabeth Massey, and it's a really good one. So, I'm going to start over here. What might we need for a backyard vegetable garden? Let's go outside and look. First, we need tools. There is a trowel to dig holes. There's a watering can. You see both those there with some seedlings getting started. This little caption says vegetables are plants. They need water to grow. The next page says second, let's look at the soil. Soil is dirt. Rich soil has nutrients. Poor soil does not. Nutrients are like vitamins that make plants healthy. We get to eat some of those nutrients from the plants that we grow to make our bodies healthy, but plants need that from the soil too. And here's the caption, rich soil is often dark because it is also damp and really holds the moisture well. The next page, compost can be added into poor soil to add nutrients. Compost can be made of grass clippings, dead leaves, and food scraps. It sits in a bin long enough to rot. That might seem yucky to us, but not to plants. So these scraps will become compost. I encourage you all to have a compost pile somewhere in your outside of your house to be able to recycle those food scraps and the lawn waste and all those things so it doesn't go into our landfill and can be reused to help support it. Some of us even have worms that we're using for composting. Third, we find seed packages. Let's grow carrots, celery, and tomatoes. You can see a lot of the seed packages here that get started. Fourth, let's look at the garden plot. The vegetables will be planted in rows. This gives plants space to grow well. One thing about Dr. Shivers' garden is that his rows are very rarely straight, but that just means that we get even more crops in our curvy rows from something that isn't as straight. One caption down his there says there are lots of seeds to choose from. I know a lot of our classrooms, specifically third grade and others, are looking at seeds right now. So they're an important part of things that we can eat and things that we can grow and things that are all around us. On page 9, now that the tools, the soil, now that the tools, the soil, and the seeds and the plot are ready, it's time to plant. Dig, dig, dig. Carrot seeds go into the ground. They begin to grow. Dr. Shivers grew really good carrots this year that look like this. Here's the caption. Did you know that we eat the end of the carrot plant that's underground? Isn't that cool? And this is what it looks like above the ground, really feathery leaves that are really soft. Dig, dig, dig. Celery seeds go into the ground. They begin to grow. Did you know that we eat the stems of celery plants? So that's what we eat as the stem part of that celery. And then dig, 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 tomato seeds go into the ground and they begin to grow. And did you know that we eat the fruit of the tomato plant? It's really great to have all the different parts that we eat, roots, stems, and sometimes the fruits of that plant. Now spring has become summer. Some days are sunny, some days are rainy. The vegetable plants grow, grow, grow. When it rains, a garden does not need a watering can. There's been several days where the rain has helped Dr. Shivers not have to water. Some weeds grow in the garden. They need to be taken out. Weeds crowd the vegetables, so a lot of time is taken pulling out some of those weeds. Weeds like gardens as much as vegetables do. So you have to take a lot of care of getting the right things to grow. The vegetables are finally ready to be picked. You might wear gloves to pull carrots from the ground. Let's fix a fresh vegetables for dinner. Yum, yum, yum. So your family might help you cook a special vegetable dish. So one of those is a recipe I'd like to share with you called vegetable fried rice. This would serve 4 people. You'd need 3 carrots, 2 stalks of celery, 3 ripe tomatoes, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of vegetable or olive oil, and then 2 cups of pre-cooked instant rice. So remember, we only cook when grown-ups are around, and we only use sharp knives with grown-ups say it's okay. But we can start with our first direction is to prepare the instant rice as a direction on the box. Then you set that aside, so you've got your rice cooked and ready. Then you chop the carrots and the celery into small bits, and then you put it in one bowl. You chop the tomato into small bits and put it in the second bowl. And then in a wok, which is a large skillet, You can heat 2 teaspoons of vegetable or olive oil until it gets really hot. And then you first add the carrots and the celery, and you stir that for about 5 minutes or until it's tender. And then you add the tomatoes and the soy sauce, and you stir for another 2 to 3 minutes. Then you add the rice, and you stir and you cook for another minute, and then you can serve it. It's one of my favorite things to be able to eat. Hope you enjoyed our story time today, friends. We'll talk more soon.